Hello, folks. Welcome to the very first video of the Primetime Movie Network. I am Primetime James Timms, and very unfortunate that the very first video on this very new channel has to be on more on the somber side. But I figured it would not be me, and it would not be fair to the Halloween fans in the horror community that I do not give tribute to this legend. Apparently, um, uh, Stuntman George P. Wilbur passed away today at 81 years old. And George P. Wilbur is remembered for playing Micheal Myers, but not only in what some may say one of the best movies of the franchise, Halloween 4, but also one of the debatably the worst Halloween film in the franchise, and Halloween: The Curse of Micheal Myers. Now, that the Halloween 6 thing is a touchy subject. Well, Halloween 4 is well beloved by the majority of Halloween fans, and one of the biggest reasons why is because of George P. Wilbur and his performance as Micheal Myers. Now, I will say that his performance as Micheal Myers is definitely one of the more brutal, one of the more menacing, one of the more physically imposing versions of Micheal Myers. Halloween 4 and especially Halloween 5 is one of the more brutal, sadistic versions of the character, and he definitely elevated Halloween 4 and the little time he was in Halloween 6. Halloween 6, well, if you forget, Halloween 6 was played by two different people. And, well, Halloween 4 technically was too, but the majority of the time was George P. Wilbur. And George, for what I have seen from all the interviews that I've seen from him, and everything I heard about him from documentaries, he seemed to be such a really, really sweet guy. And I find it kind of funny how you play a character like Micheal Myers, and the good majority of people that I've heard that played him turn out to be really cool, chill, sweet guys. I find it kind of very ironic. You play such a vicious character, and you're one of the most nicest guys on the planet to play him. It just always made me laugh. But yeah, and one of the things that made George P. Wilbur's performance different was, we joke about it, but is the shoulder pads. The classic shoulder pads, where he wanted to wear shoulder pads to make Micheal look more imposing, which to me was not the greatest of choices, but I got George's mindset when it came to that. I think Micheal works best when he kind of looks more slimmed down and looks more like a normal person than a fucking jacked up dude. I think, personally, for me, I think that's where Micheal works best. But George P. Wilbur gave us some of the most brutal deaths. The man's been blessed to give us some of the most brutal moments in Halloween history. I mean, the very first time, George P. Wilbur, arguably the greatest Micheal Myers death of all time, debatably the greatest death of all time, him stabbing Kelly Meeker with the shotgun. George P. Wilbur did the nightmare scene, the classic nightmare scene, which is right here with Daniel Harris, which is a funny story about it. It just kind of goes how much of a sweet guy George was. Every time that they would finish shooting a film when George and Daniel Harris would be in a scene together. Keep in mind, Daniel Harris was about 8, 9 years old at the time, and she was terrified of George. She was absolutely terrified of George, And George always made it a point. He always made it a point every time that when Dwight H. Little directed Halloween 4 would yell cut, he would always take his mask off and comfort Danielle to inform her, hey, this is just a movie. I'm not gonna hurt you and all that stuff. Like it's all make believe, it's all pretend. And then later on, Danielle Harris you know, would let her guard down and became more comfortable around George. And it kind of goes to show what kind of guy George P. Wilbur was. Um, that's willing to go out of his way. It's kind of comfort, the little girl that he's trying to kill uh, in the movie. Um, but yeah, but iconic moments with this character, his portrayal. Um, Killing Brady on top of the stairs with basically just dismantling Brady, rearranging Brady's face with his bare hands. The scene in the truck when he kills all the rednecks in the back of the truck, and he's on top of the truck where Rachel yanks him off and goes, "Die, you son of a bitch!" And it's a great performance. That's one of the best in the series, but it's the best in the franchise. I rank him maybe third best. Michael, I got it's still neck and neck with. I got Nick. Then I got James. I got Nick Castle as one, the original. James Ducournau of these last three films. And shit, I might have to go George P. Wilbur in his portrayal. And even in Halloween: The Curse of Micheal Myers, that iconic shot of, let's see if I got it in this picture here. No, hang on. That iconic shot at the bottom on your right hand side with him looking down at us holding the axe, very physically imposing. A lot of people say it was the most brutal Micheal Myers. George P. Wilbur, Halloween 6 is portrayed as the most brutal Micheal Myers in the franchise. On the first scene when he grabs the nurse and then he impales her head on that spike on the side, in that creepy moment where he just stands back and just stares at her while she's twitching. One of the more disturbing moments in Halloween history is with George P. Wilbur. And I don't believe this is him here, but I thought it was just a badass shot. But yeah, man, rest in peace to a legend in the Halloween fan base and the horror community. He's definitely left a lasting legacy. And it's a shame that he passed. 81 years old, man. 81. He was up there. He was getting up there. But from what I've seen, he was still very active in the conventions, and from what I've heard, that he's very proud of his work in his involvement in the Halloween series. Like I said, he's very regarded, very beloved within the Halloween fan base, and yeah, it's sad to see a legend go. But his legacy will never be forgotten. Halloween 4 is a classic horror film and one of the more beloved films in the franchise. Halloween 6, despite what you want to say about the film as a whole, but George P. Wilbur's performance is one of the highlights of the film. Despite the fact that, yeah, he looked like he packed on a couple pounds, and the scene when he's chasing Kara across the street and the way he was walking looks very, very weird, but he was definitely a highlight of the film. Didn't have the same fluidity as Nick Castle, because keep in mind, this is the third Micheal Myers ever played. This third person played Micheal Myers, so he kind of carried on that Dick Warlock robotic style a little bit. But he was still very scary, still very intimidating, and more importantly, he just seemed to be a really nice, sweet person. And rest in peace, George P. Wilbur. Gone but never forgotten. And I might watch Halloween 4 and Halloween 6 at some point this weekend. when I have the time. So rest in peace to him, one of the greatest Micheal Myers of all time, and may he rest in peace. And on the false, my prime time, James Thomas, and that's gonna end it from there. So leave it, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button for the new Primetime Movie Network. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section. What are your thoughts on George P. Wilbur's passing? Favorite moment of his in Halloween 4, Halloween 6, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, the first video on the Primetime Movie Network. So like I said, sad, had to be somewhat of a somber one, but I tried to make it more positive as I possibly can. And I'm going to go ahead and end it from there, y'all. Everybody have a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I am out. Peace.